Nissan USA describes this vehicle as more to the max. Now to me that means that we have more technology for a somewhat affordable price. Hey guys, it's Chris, and in this video I have the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. If you want to clock back about 2 years, I reviewed the previous generation in 2024, so I'm curious to see how much of an improvement they made over the last 2 years with a brand new generation like this. But you know what? This one does have remote start, so we're going to lock the doors, hold down the key fob. Boom! Started on the first try. But you know what? Let's go ahead. Drum roll. Get into this review. Looking outside of the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. This is your key fob with the remote start feature, your lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic button at the bottom of the key fob. As equipped, this vehicle is $31,305, dressed in a Atlantic gray two-tone exterior for $800 on a charcoal leatherette interior. Now this car also comes with the premium package for $2,300, which bundles in some more driver assist technology and creature comforts. All information will be in the description below. But looking at your exterior design right here, you have a full LED headlight setup right here with these very dramatic DRLs, which doubles as your turn signals, and LED low and high beams just above. Very aura inspired. Your Nissan logo is front and center with your front view camera system and orange SR badging. You'll also find a sensor for your ProPilot assist, driver assist technology, which you'll try out on the road. Now coming over here to the wheels, you have an 18-inch aero spoke design wheel wrapped in the all-season tire. Your blacked out mirror captures LED turn signals and side view camera system with keyless entry for your front door handles. This right here is your window sticker. Check out the description below for all options and features on this particular version right here. You can also see the two-tone roof design right here from the side profile and the optional moonroof up top for $650. It does give you an air filling inside the cabin. Pardon the angle right here. Overall vehicle length is 183.3 inches long from nose to tail. You'll also find a blacked out rear spoiler on the rear end with a full LED taillight setup back here, an aggressive rear diffuser with a single exit exhaust tip over there on the driver's side. Also over here on the passenger side, you will find a 12.4 gallon gas tank. Look at this Atlantic gray exterior in the sun, right? Looks sweet. But it is rated at 12.4 gallons. Coming around to the rear, orange SR badging, of course. Trunk release is just under the Nissan logo. Now you'll find 14.3 cubic feet of space. You have seat releases on both sides to fold it down in a 60-40 split. Carpeted floor mats right here with a owner's manual. No spare tire, you do get a fixed flat kit down below. But now, let me show you guys under the hood where all the action happens in the new Sentra. Now, under the hood of the Sentra, you have one engine offering. This is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder that makes 149 horsepower and 146 pound-foot of torque. A Xtronic CVT transmission rated at 29 city, 36 on the highway, and 32 combined. This one has a carb weight of 3,251 pounds. Small typo is 3,153 pounds. I don't know what I was thinking. But looking a little bit more at the exterior design right here, it really is aura inspired on the front end fascia. You have a newer interpretation of the V-Motion grille, which looks pretty sweet. And I think the front is definitely my favorite design element. Now the rear definitely does look like a Honda Accord, but you also have this two-tone roof design, and as a whole, just looks so good. Now let's hit the interior. Now sitting behind myself at 5'6", I have about 4 inches of legroom with the seat mostly back and about 1.5 inches of headroom. You also have an integrated USB-C port right here for charging. Window controls are right here on the door panels. You can also see the moonroof up top to give you air filling inside of the cabin, especially back here. And here's a quick look to the cockpit up front. But now, let's sit in the driver's seat and check out all of the cool features of the new Sentra. Now, thanks to that premium package, you have a power driver's seat right here. Again, this is a charcoal leatherette interior. Power bottom support, your back support right there, and a forward lumbar support with manual telescoping steering column right there. Power window and mirror controls with Sentra badged right here on the door panel, which is pretty cool. Your trunk release, as well as your heated steering wheel button right here, and your lane keeping assist with steer assist function right there, which you can activate and deactivate with a physical button right here. Now, looking a little bit more at the interior of the new Sentra, you have this 2-spoke steering wheel design right here, which is heated, your light controls and wipe controls right here, with all of my driver assist up top for my ProPilot assist tech. Volume control is right here, with my voice commands and multimedia functions over here on my right hand side. You can also toggle between your cluster functions and so on with a couple of these buttons right here. Now, looking a little bit more at the cluster, this is a 12.3-inch display setup. This is right here in this extended view. I can change between all my various different pages. My MPG settings are right here. Tire pressure, media functions, a driver assist view, and a couple of vehicle settings under this menu. For your traction control, your ProPilot assist driver assist tech can be controlled and configured under this menu right here. Eco mode settings, you can activate, deactivate the auto start stop, and some more driver assist tech. Tire pressure monitor, clock settings, some more vehicle settings integrated under there. Maintenance, and some more customizable displays, and etc. Now, one thing I want to show you guys is that you can actually change the meter view with the page button right there and actually change the overall design of this cluster. So this is a more traditional view right here with the analog tach and speedo. And then the center portion will pull up all your other data and information. Now, looking over here at your main infotainment setup right here, this is also a 12.3-inch unit. You have your home page right here. Everything is laid out quite easily used and intuitive. Radio functions are right here, as well as your integrated Apple CarPlay and Android Auto button right here. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that these are all your shortcut buttons right here. This basically just streamlines the process of navigating through the infotainment screen. Now, I'm excited to show you guys a quick audio test. Now, again, thanks to this premium package, we have the 8-speaker Bose sound system. So let's try it out. Now, this system replaces the 6-speaker sound system, and it really gives you a nice bit of bass sound quality, really making you feel like you're in the studio making your own beats, if you know what I'm saying, right? Now, going back to your main homepage right here, I have all my various different apps under this button right here, as well as right here, if you want to get to it through that screen right there. Your Nissan Connect functions are for that function right there. Garage stuff, user profiles. You also have interior lighting, which is a pretty cool feature. So you have a multicolor ambient lighting setup, which is pretty cool. You have your various different themes right here, as well as your various different colors under each menu. So as you guys can see right here inside of this center console, you have a little bit of blue illumination here, as well as just under or just above the glove box right there. And you can change your various different colors for that. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. That's like a red, that's like a green, and then we can just go right back to blue. All your various different individual colors under additional and etc. System information, all settings right there, as well as your CarPlay and Android Auto functions over here on this side. You have a couple of settings right here for your settings page, which is just below. Another shortcut button for that. Your filter display settings, you can actually change your display settings under that menu, and a couple of shortcut buttons down below where you can see your climate control functions for your temperature, whether your seats are heated on and off, as well as the heated steering wheel. Now, looking further down below, you have a dual zone climate control setup with a couple of buttons just above that. So you have a hazard button, your camera button right there for the 360 camera, which is just above that. That can pull up a full 360 view around the exterior, as well as your track forward and back and volume control knobs below. You have a dual zone climate control setup right here with your 3-stage heated seats. Dual zone climate right there for both sides, and etc. Push button start with 2 integrated USB-C ports, as well as a 12-volt charger and a wireless phone charging pad just below. This right here is your gear shifter for the Xtronic CVT. I can put it back into reverse. We have a full 360 camera with trajectory lines and so on. You can also change your various different angles. You can go down for a neutral drive as well as a B mode right there. Cup holders are a pretty good size right here, integrated on the right hand side with a couple of buttons over here. Your auto start stop defeat button, your auto hold function, an electronic parking brake, and your drive mode function right there. So you have your various different drive modes. You have a sport, standard, as well as a eco drive mode right there. Center console does provide a lot of storage and space in the center right there. Your garage door opener is just below the auto dimming rearview mirror. Sunglass holder, your illumination up top, SOS button, and your control right here to open and close the moonroof up top. But now let's check out rear world performance with the new Sentra. So let's go. First, setting off behind the wheel in the new 2026 Sentra. Speaking of visibility out the front rear and sides, I can see very good over the hood, as well as the side mirrors and even out the back for a sedan like this. Now, speaking a little bit more about the exterior design, because I think that's one of the big talking points about this new generation. It's definitely going a little bit more upscale, kind of almost Ultima of a few generations ago. You have a little bit of Aria inspiration on the front end fascia with a darked out V-motion grille with these very dramatic gear rails which doubles as your turn signals. Now, this one is dressed in a two-tone Atlantic gray exterior, which looks phenomenal, especially when the sun hits it. And around to the back, you have a quarter styling out back of this current generation, which is very familiar. Not unique Nissan designing, but it is still pretty good nonetheless. As you can see right here at the stop sign, the auto start stop is very smooth and seamless. Firing right back up. Now, this one does have a front strut and rear multi-link suspension setup with a 18-inch wheel. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this 18-inch wheel design setup. I think a 5-spoke or a multi-spoke wheel design would really suit the body lines a lot better than this wheel setup, which is very confusing because it's a 3-spoke, but each spoke has 3 individual spokes incorporated into that, and it's honestly a lot going on. Now, speaking of the competitors, vehicles that go up against the new Sentra, we have things like your Toyota Corolla, which is available in either gas or hybrid. Also, the Civic is available in gas or hybrid. Elantra is gas or hybrid, and then you also have the Kia K5, which is available exclusively in a gas version. Now, this setup right here has a carryover 2-liter inline 4-cylinder that makes 149 horsepower, 146 pound-foot of torque with the Xtronic CVT transmission. Now, surprisingly, since my 2024 Sentra review, having the same carryover powertrain, it actually gets 1 less MPG or 1 worse MPG than the last generation. That is likely due to the weight increase. So this one gets about 32 MPG combined, whereas the previous generation got about 33 MPG combined. Now, Nissan does describe this vehicle as more to the max because you have more technology at a more affordable price tag. You have a class-leading 12.3-inch display setup, which I'll talk a little bit more about that when we hit the highway and highway speeds and talk about how working with that system really turned out. But just sitting here at the light, auto start stop is very smooth and seamless. You have your drive modes down here, eco, standard, and your sport drive mode right there. Again, when the light turns, I do want to try a quick 0 to 60 to check out all 149 horsepower. But comparing this to other competitors, the base Civic 2-liter that makes 150 horsepower, and then the Elantra makes about 147 horsepower with its base 2-liter inline 4-cylinder. Oh look, there's a new kicks. That's mostly inspiration on the interior from the new kicks in terms of the additional tech. Now let's try a quick 0 to 60. Come to a stop. And we're just gonna floor it. Okay, and that was highway speeds right there. Honestly, could definitely use a little more acceleration, I'm really being honest, but it definitely works for a segment like this. Now, speaking a little bit more about some more competitors and stuff, one thing I think is missing in terms of the drivetrain component is a hybrid option. That would make this vehicle a lot more competitive. If you look at things like your Civic, right? The Civic itself is the more dynamic entry in a segment. I mean, I've never driven a vehicle in a segment that handled as good as the Civic does. The Elantra and the Kia K5 bundles in a lot of technology and features at a value packed price. Keep in mind that a Kia K4 GT Line Turbo, like the one I reviewed, was about $31,000 and change. So that's literally right in line MSRP wise with this at about $32,000. And keep in mind that one does have a 1.6 turbo that makes 200 horsepower. Now, speaking a little bit more about the technology on the inside of this new Sentra, you have this dual 12.3-inch display setup. The cluster is pretty straightforward. Right now I have it in a standard traditional view with a tack and a speedo. I can also change the media view right here into a more expanded view. So it's a little bit bigger. You can see all my driver assist stuff right here in my line of sight, which is pretty cool. And the infotainment itself does require no learning curve. It's pretty straightforward in terms of that. I mean, you literally hop in the car and learn the infotainment in like an hour. That's just how easy it is. Homepage, CarPlay. You also have a cool couple features inside of the screen. So you have your ambient lighting, which is pretty cool. So you have like little accent lighting around the dashboard as well as in the center console right there. Just adds a little bit more, you know, niceness at nighttime, right? I believe the Elantra or the Jetta started the whole ambient lighting trend in this specific segment right here. Damn, that's the second WRX I saw in the span of like half a mile, right? That's insane. Now, the acceleration ain't too bad for a vehicle like this, but the first thing I'm going to show you guys a little bit more in depth is the ProPilot assist technology. The sun is just blinding me a smidge. Let's just go around this bend. So I want to set the ProPilot assist driver assist technology. So it's pretty easy to use. It's already activated. I just hit the set button right here and it already sets my speed. I can change my following distance right here on this side, all the way out to 3 or all the way down to 1 following distance, as I do have set right now. And it does a great job of that, as you guys can see right there with the lane keeping assist feature. If you do veer over like very light, it will pull me back over. If you do a little bit more forcefully, it will just like chime or like vibrate inside of the steering wheel and won't really pull you back over. So if you do it very gradually, see that right there, it pulls me back over. But if I do it like this, it's not going to intervene. But adaptive cruise is very great at following this van right here in front of me. Does a great job of that. I recommend for like city driving, 1 following distance is good. If you're following a little bit further away, like let's say on a road trip or highway driving, level 2 or level 3 will definitely take care of you. And that was a quick pass. Probably getting whitewashed with that sun right now, just insane. But yeah, passing power is pretty good for a vehicle. Again, I could definitely want for a little bit more power, but for this vehicle, honestly, it's enough. Very smooth. Now, as we get a little bit closer to the dealership, what is my overall opinion on the new 2026 Sentra? First things first, let me say this. I really like the exterior design. It looks so good, so fresh, so different and unique. I feel like the wheel design is the only thing missing to really tie in this entire package. Now, besides that, I think a hybrid option would be a nice addition to be a little more competitive. But the technology is sweet. I mean, dual 12.3-inch display setup, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. The learning curve to learn everything is pretty straightforward. Now, this one does have the premium package for $2,300, which bundles in your power driver seat, Bose sound system, 360 camera, and a couple other creature comforts, all of which will be in the description below. But in terms of what you get with the new Sentra, it's definitely a very compelling option. But keep in mind though, this one as tested was like $31,305. And for the same amount of money, you can almost get a Kia K4 GT line with a turbo engine, which, if I'm really being honest, I might actually select that as my personal option if I were to select one or the other. But yeah, so that's all I have to say about the new Sentra. I really do like everything overall about this vehicle. Just add a hybrid and some better looking wheels, and this is definitely a good choice. I'm gonna wrap this video. This is Chris signing out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.